Yeah, good afternoon to everyone. I am Padma Jaiswal. I am Secretary IT with Government of Puducherry. Since morning, many speakers have at length, discussed about the best practices which they are experiencing in their respective areas, and such good practices of governance, and it's worth replicating in the other areas also where they're not been practiced. Well, I would just like to focus, I would like to make a passing reference on the general comments. The Digital India flagship is a flagship program of Government of India, wherein it focuses that now we have to make a shift from e-governance to the digital governance. Now, digitization is a key feature of the government, which entails that there should be integration of all the applications, there should be some common database in the form of digitization. That is why the Aadhaar was so much stressed upon, and UIDAI was formed so that the database of all the common citizens come on the common platform of UIDAI in the identity form of Aadhaar. And also, it has also been, commemorated by various, this research agencies that India has got a very ambitious, digitization program, and it is one of the best digitization program where the database of the common citizen has been, kept in the digitized form. But yes, as everybody knows that there are so many applications which are being run by various departments. But since morning, few of the speakers have told that yes, there are some concerns regarding the integration of those applications. Like when we want to integrate, why not, the common citizen only just logs on to the government portal and just avail the facilities of all the applications of all the departments. So this was the concern which was expressed by various speakers. But yes, in some places like in the progressive states which are high on the IT curve, like Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, this kind of concern is expressed by them, is redressed by them, and they have been coming out with some common portals where the citizen can access it in the common service center and they can avail the services. While in the other states they are still on the developing curve of the IT, providing IT services electronically to the citizens, and they are still in the different kinds of individual applications, point application software which they are providing to their citizens. One of the concerns which I will just, the key feature why this kind of non-integration of the application is taking place, and because is the lack of inoperability of the functions, because few of the departments they are very much digitized and the other departments they are not digitized. So the back-end operation, the back-end automation which is related to the each department is not existing. That is why the integration is very difficult to happen. And when we have seen that some departments like health and education, which receive a lot of funding from the government, they are able to procure the latest hardwares and the softwares, and they are at the high progressive stage of the development of automation, whereas the other departments are at the back foot when it comes to automation. But when we see that the social welfare department, the data of social welfare departments, education and health, they have to be integrated. Now the problem arises that interoperability becomes a key problem because of the differences in the hardware, the skills and the back-end automation. So this can be redressed, and this is one of the key concerns. Well, now one of the speaker also mentioned that this artificial intelligence and machine learning, deep learning and the blockchain technologies are not new. They are just 10 years or 12 years old. Yes, it's very right. These technologies are not very new technologies, and so much of the work in the research has been said and done about them. But why are we talking so much about these technologies only these few days? Is because of the the progressive nature of the citizen or the customer. These days, the citizen, the activity, that the participation in the social media has become so much immense and so much huge that there is so much of data which is being generated, and also the expectations of the citizen has become very ambitious, and he is now expecting a lot of services from its the service provider, whether it be a citizen expecting the services from the government, or the customer who is expecting the services from his corporates or the retail shops. So So now each citizen, he's become so much aware about the new technology, the new how to operate the technology, and also he is having a smartphone in his hand. So he wants to get, connected through online with the government and with the service provider. So that is why now, the competition all of a sudden has increased as to how should we deliver good services electronically in the government and also in the private sector to the citizen or the customer. So therefore, we are discussing about all these technologies. Now, these technologies themselves are in the evolutionary stage, and now that we have started doing the research work on this. So now, these technologies, when we want to deliver the services to the customer or the citizen through these technologies, it cannot be in isolation. It has to be in a collaborative effort. The effort which will come after the collaboration with the academia and the collaboration with the industry. Because we are dealing with innovation these days. Now, innovation in a department is different within each department. Now, the innovation or the use cases in agriculture department is very different from the agriculture use cases and innovation in the education or the health sector. So what kind of use cases are we stressing upon? So these use cases have to be studied properly, and a properly workflow and processes have to be made. Now, how this can come about is only through after the collaboration has been done with the academia and the industry. Now, we see to it that that there is a lack of some kind of a collaboration between the industry and academia, in the sense that each of them are expert in their own domain knowledge. So when they sit together and when they exchange information with each other, there is some kind of a rapport is not being developed between these two domains. And so therefore there is some kind of an innovation deficit which comes about. So therefore, in one of the speakers also mentioned that India is third when it comes to innovation after China and USA. And also when it comes with the other countries, with the other universities who are coming out with their research papers and publications, we have to really pull up ourselves, and we have to gear up towards the development in the research and the publications of these innovations. So the collaboration with these two, academia and industry, is very important when it comes to building up algorithms and also the various kinds of other simulation processes, so that we can just apply these new technologies into our government processes and the systems. Now there are so many other challenges also which we face when we talk about implementing these technologies. These are the intelligent networks. Now these are the intelligent technologies which has got intelligence in them. Now these kind of intelligence only work when we have a good, reliable, accurate data sets with us. Now we are lacking the data scientists, and who are well versed in implementing and also well versed in kind of processing this kind of data into a very reliable and accurate data sets. So this is really required. That we should have good amount of data scientists, and the services of the data scientists are available with us. And also, one more concern which is expressed these days is about the broadband. Now, broadband, because so many devices, even I am now connected, I might be wearing a wearable, or I might be having my mobile. So I am connected, myself I am connected with 3 to 4 devices with the common network. So therefore, all of us, so many people, are connected with the common network with so many devices. And there is so much of interaction is taking place, so much of data is streaming live into the network. So the broadband, even if we have progressed so much about the broadband connectivity and the capacity, but still we fall short of the broadband. Still we want to make more progress when it comes to broadband connectivity and broadband availability. And then, just last 2-3 points I would like to mention is that, we have, this is a very progressive technologies. These all technologies are very progressive in nature, and we have to utilize if we don't want to be on the back foot. Because as we have seen that various technology companies like Amazon and like Google and so many other startups, they have really leapfrogged. They have had so much of capital investment in them, and they have got so much of, capital with them. So as it has been realized that those companies who are adopting more and more technology into their processes are becoming more profitable and appreciable by the customers and citizens, and therefore this is becoming the need of the hour in the government and also in the private sector, that we adopt to these technologies. And these technologies can be successfully adopted only when there is a all-round collaboration between all the stakeholders of the society. Well, there is so much to be said about this subject, but the time is limited and there are other speakers also. And I thank the panelists and also the people sitting here and the organizers to have been given this time to me for speaking. Thank you so much.